How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rallet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we've got massive Pokemon rumors, leaks, and news to talk about, so sit back and relax because we got loads of stuff to go through. The first thing is got to do with the gimmick of these games. Now, what do I mean when I say gimmick? Well, you guys already know that every Pokemon game tends to include some kind of gimmick in the recent years. For example, in X and Y, it was Mega Evolution. In Pokemon, Sun and Moon, it was Z-moves. In Sword and Shield, it was Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. But we know that this logo right here, this one right here, is from the Japanese logo of Scarlet and Violet, and it looks like some kind of star. Now, people have been making connections, but one of the best ones I've seen is it actually looks like the kind of the default energy, like the normal energy that we see in the Pokemon TCG. And this was sent to me by Lindsay Sensei. Shout out to him, by the way, for putting together some of the most, amazing theories. But he put together a really cool theory about what the gimmick is going to be for this game. So it all kind of starts off from something that was posted by Delta Uminotami over on Twitter. It said Porto inspection by Mr. Masuda. The Pokemon trading card game series set in Porto features a card with a special. By the way, Porto, if you do not know, is a city in Portugal. Features cards with special Pokebodies called Crystal type, which is a neutral Pokemon. So this was something added back in the TCG a long time ago, back in a long past era of Pokemon. This was a thing that was added to certain Pokemon. It was kind of a new form of sorts for the Pokemon that they could have, where their bodies would become essentially neutral. They wouldn't have a typing at all at that point. And you guys can see what the whole point is. They were kind of like normal type. They were default. They didn't have anything going for them, and then they could even have moves, which would be totally different, like in this case, like down here. So the point I'm trying to get to is that all this kind of perfectly connects into the idea that maybe the gimmick has got something to do with a crystal typing. Again, what we see right here is a crystal. It is clearly a crystal that's blue-colored, and is it possible we're going to be getting some kind of crystal form, crystal evolution, or something that's going to basically change our Pokemon's typing to a neutral third type, or we're going to gain a third typing that also changes the look of the Pokemon? Because if you guys think about Mega Evolution, what is Mega Evolution really? Well, it's a temporary extra evolution. What this new gimmick could be is, instead of Mega Evolution, it could be Mega Typing, right? We've been told by Riddleku, if you guys do not know who that is, he's a legitimate Pokemon leaker by the name of Riddleku over on Twitter, who has given us legitimate leaks and information for Legends Arceus, BDSP, and even Scarlet and Violet. But he's been telling us, told us that Mega Evolution will be back in Scarlet and Violet in some form of way. But he didn't say that Mega Evolution's the way we're used to it. It's going to be a version of Mega. It's something similar to Megas that will be returning. So my standing theory is this. I think we're going to be getting Mega Typings. Mega Typings will basically be a new typing, an extra typing that's temporary, and it's sort of going to be connected to these crystals. So almost a crystal typing, so to say, that will be given to you temporarily, that's sort of neutral, and will give you the ability to change on certain Pokemon, possibly, the actual way the Pokemon looks, and on other Pokemon, the actual typing, as well. So, all of them will be able to change to the neutral typing, but certain ones will also change the way they look. So, it'll be similar to Megas, except instead of evolution, instead of it being a third evolution, it'll be a third or fourth or fifth, whatever evolution you would call it. It'll be a, third typing, so to say. That's at least the standing theory I have here. And again, shout out to Delta, as well as Arbusto, and of course, Lindsay Sensei for this amazing theory. Another thing I should point out is that there is a huge connection between Masuda, if you guys do not know who he is, by the way, and there's Omori over there. Those are the two people that have been the main directors of Pokemon games since 1996, I think. Since Pokemon started, these guys have been involved, or at least Masuda has, which is on the left here. He has been involved since then, and he was here back during the 2016, I think, Comic-Con in Portugal. He was in Porto actually talking about different things, and he's been putting out a lot of stuff over on his, in particular, on his actual private blog about this, about Porto, about the Portuguese connection and all of that, which is really interesting. Also, Delta had an interesting theory here that because of if we look at the way Sinnoh is set up, we can kind of make a correlation that because it kind of does have a parallel world within it, almost with the whole distortion world there and everything, that is it possible maybe that we got the same thing, that Scarlet and Violet are in a parallel world to maybe everything we know from the other Pokemon games, which I don't know if that's going to be the case, though. But it leads us into the next thing, which is from Soul Silver Art, who put together a great, just list of information here, saying, I believe we'll get at least part of the main Scarlet and Violet gimmick explained soon, aka in June and July. So what he's talking about here is what we just talked about, the gimmick of the game, the Mega Evolutions of this game, not literal Mega Evolutions, but the equivalent to that, right? So a new feature that's a gimmick. basically he thinks is going to be revealed in June, July, and he's basing that off of, again, what the leaker, Riddler said, which is, somebody was asking, could you tell us if megas are back in any form, please? He says, no comment on this, too early to say that much. He says, well, thanks for the answer, but it's weird because if they weren't, I'd say you'd come and say they aren't. This gives me some hope. And this is where he said, because Titan, and Titan is, by the way, if you do not know what Titan is, it is the code name. It's the development code name for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It says, got a new concept of that. So basically saying that there is Mega Evolutions, but it's a new concept of Megas. It's not Mega Evolution. Maybe it's Mega Forms, Mega Typings, Mega Crystals. I don't know. Oh, well, that's technically just the things you evolve with. By the way, I'm going to tease it maybe in August or September, not the time now. So what we're basically looking at here, maybe, according to Soul Silver, we're going to still get info on this, like, new thing, but we're only going to get information about it, you know, confirmed by Riddler in August. However, we may get earlier information about it, a part of it explained in June or July. This is why I believe that this new Mega concept is separate, he says, from the main one, or similar to Dynamax and Gigantamax. If Q's going to tease it in August and September, then it won't be officially revealed until after that. No? Question mark. So what he's saying here is this, okay? The thing that Riddler is referring to, which is that there is a new version of Mega Evolution, or Megas, right? Not Mega Evolution, but Megas. That there's a new concept to Megas. But on the other hand, there's also the general gimmick that we have in this game. And possibly what's going to be happening is the same thing we had with Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. We got to learn about Dynamaxing early on, but Gigantamaxing came later, right? That was different information. That was a bit separate. And the big thing here, the big thing you have to look at, okay, is simply this, okay? Megas, you know, as we know them, like in this concept, in this way, the new concept, that's going to be the equivalent to Gmax. The other side, the base gimmick, is going to be equivalent to Dynamaxing, something that every Pokemon can do, while the other thing that's going to be connected to Megas is the one that only certain Pokemon can do. Same way Gigantamaxing is only available for certain Pokemon. So that's the way I'm looking at this, and I would love to know what you guys think about this. Including on this, Delta even said, if it's like PLA, as Eclipse says, some may be disappointed. Game Freak might anticipate that and hide it. In the end, we can't make a decision until we find out a little bit more about the types. So again, there is some connection to 3 types, because what he's referring to here, Delta, is a post again by Riddler, the leaker, where he said that there is 3 types. There's something related to 3 typings in this game. We move on to the next thing, which is from Soul Silver, who has a theory on the box art. If you guys haven't noticed it, in the box art of these new games, there is this like on the logo, there are these like little icons all around it, which you guys can see are circled here, and we've been trying to figure out what they exactly mean. And here's what he's basically saying. So, what they could be related to. But I think their main purpose and significance is representing the other 4 ride forms each legendary gets. Now, you guys haven't maybe noticed it, but if you have, okay, the legendaries are clearly going to be rideable. They look like they're supposed to be vehicles somewhat. They look like they even had the names Ride On, Me Ride On, you know, Ride On. Like, it's literally in their names, and they look like vehicles with like seats on the back and stuff. So clearly they're going to have forms to be ridden, because even that was already confirmed to us by Riddler, who give us information that these Pokemon will have rideable forms. We assume there's going to be 5 of them, or 4 forms, and then the base form, which we see right here. So he says, forms for each legendary gets. This all starts with Ku, who said they each get 5 forms, 4 symbols plus the 5th head in the middle. And this relates back to this post right here, where Ku said, bonus 2, they may look different on the box because they don't have, they both have, etc. You've seen one of them. And then somebody translated that to 5 forms, and that was confirmed, right? So basically what he said is, they may look different on the box, right? They may look different on the box, aka Miraidon, Koraidon. They look different, but they both have 5 different forms. You've just seen one of them. So we've only seen one version of the 5 forms. That means there's 4 rideable forms, 4, or maybe not even rideable forms, just 4 other forms of this Pokemon, of these 2 Pokemon, that we have yet to actually witness. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. He continue on though. Look at the box art. We've never had such a big detail border on any previous Pokemon game cover. The only one that comes close to it is Sword and Shield, which had the legendary wolf faces mixed with the sword, rusted sword, and the shield, the rusted shield. These symbols represented, as you guys may remember, like these were in there, that represented the 2 items you needed to sort of more or less summon these 2 to fight, you know, Eternatus and whatnot. And those are the 2 items you guys see right there, the shield and the sword that were broken. And we continue down. the main Sword and Shield plot, as well as Zacian Zamazenta's crown form changes, which is the same thing I think is happening in Scarlet and Violet. Not only that, but the border is fully connected or one with the head of the Scarlet Violet Legendary. Almost like 4 symbols are coming from their heads, which I think those 4 symbols are, you know, maybe even like their limbs, right? Like, you know, like both arms and both legs, because they are bipedal humanoid creatures. What really sealed it for me is I hadn't noticed the 2 wheel parts of the legendaries right underneath the 2 symbols in the top right. If you look right there, he's not wrong though. It does look kind of like this shape right here. You guys can see it kind of looks like a wheel of sorts. I also think it kind of could look like the claws of the Pokemon or something like that, or like, you know, something along those lines instead. But it does have that kind of almost wheel format. It does look like a wheel of sorts, so that is very true. And if you look at it right here, it's even more clear on, I think this might be Portuguese or logo. I could be wrong. I'm sorry if I am, but you guys can see the difference right there as well. It's like it's more evident, it's more clear, so to say. You guys can definitely notice it. So just keep that in mind. Also, there is a difference in the logos. If you guys haven't like noticed it in the head, like the headpiece right here, there is a difference between the 2 different games as well. So we continue on. What really sealed it for me, as we already knew, was that. But I either believe that the 4 rides will be standard fly, ride, surf, and climb, or instead of climb, I believe the last one could be space and dimensional travel. These are listed left to right in this image. This is also shown in the legendaries reveal from the trailer. The camera starts with us flying, then it goes down into crevices for riding, then into the water for surfing, then climbing the mountain for the reveal for climbing. My big theory, and this is very true, yes, if you look at the trailer reveal for when they are shown, there is first, like, we are flying in this case, right? First we are flying, also I dropped my phone, then we are essentially riding through a canyon, at the end we are surfing, and finally we're climbing up the rocks, climbing the mountain to get all the way up to the top. So this is perfect, man. It's perfectly connected. It is actually incredible. Like, sold, my guy. Fantastic theory, dude. Only as a ride, not usable in battle until much later. We'll need to go through dungeons, bosses, gyms to unlock each of these emblems / new ride abilities throughout our journey and exploration. Maybe once we have all 4, we can then actually catch the legendaries to use in battle. So that is very true. It could be that that's the case. He says even here, like, I would imagine we wouldn't be able to use them in battle until we reach a level requirement, earn their trust and respect, but instead we just have them on loan from the professors and use them solely as ride Pokemon, much like a ride Pokemon in PLA, which I think might be the case. He says, now this of course does not completely discredit the other theories about exactly what these symbols mean, whether it's alchemy or navigational tools. And actually, the latter almost supports my theories because we will be navigating Scarlet and Violet's world on our own new legendary friends. This also is a really great take on what the 5 forms could be. I'm not too sure where like there will be a Cosmog-like Pokemon pre-evo, but there's always a chance. And this is from Blaze and Cinnamon, who says his guess is something like this: that there's a pre-evolution, a normal form that we already know about, and then there is, like, you know, a normal form, and then there is basically 3 forms here: air vehicle, water vehicle, land vehicle, and the final forms that we already know about, making it a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 forms, plus the pre-evolution, which isn't a form, which is just, you know, a pre-evo at that point. So your thoughts would be appreciated on this, lads. There's quite a lot still to go through. We'll continue on to the next thing, guys. If you guys do not know about this, these videos that are being posted by the Pokemon Company, counting down, literally counting down days until the most likely next trailer is going to happen. Now, how do we know this? Well, over on the official Pokemon channel, they're posting these videos where they tell you to visit different regions, and these are YouTube shorts that are posted exactly 1 week after each other. Now, back in Sword and Shield, before that game came out, before it was revealed and everything, they actually did this exact same thing, and then they revealed Sword and Shield. So, we are speculating that around the 29th or 28th of this month, as far as I know, 28th or 29th of June, we're going to get the 3rd trailer. We're going to get the 3rd trailer or a 3rd reveal or something during some kind of reveal, some kind of new information will be revealed around the 28th, 29th. Most likely the name of the region will be shown to us then. How do we know this? Well, because all these like posts, all these YouTube shorts, the one thing that's in common with them is they always say visit Alola, visit Kanto, visit the name of a region, and it's a countdown. Why would they post them 1 week after each other if it's not leading up to something? It's very sketchy, so we can pretty much guarantee at the end of this, we're going to be getting it. And he says, I think I'm going to start sharing these now too, because we're very close. Scarlet and Violet's region name and Nintendo Direct announcement with Pokemon news in it on the 28th or 29th. I think it's going to happen. We move on to the next thing, which is quite interesting. This was a tweet from Nintendo America where they specifically said, Sprigatito loves all the attention it can get and deserves. So as its trainer, be careful letting it see you give attention to other Pokemon. Basically, it's a jealous Pokemon, okay? It's jealousy in this Pokemon. It's a jealous one, which is really interesting because in Swedish, the word the word for literally like somebody being jealous is svartsjuk, which literally means like black sickness, almost like dark sickness is I think the right word, like a dark sickness. And that's literally what it refers to, which for me makes total sense for this Pokemon being a dark type, right? It is a jealous Pokemon. It's got jealousy in its soul, making it a grass dark type perfectly. And we already know that's going to be its typing based on Riddler-Coup, but it also fits perfectly with the idea of, for example, a black cat. That would fit perfectly with the dark typing. On top of that, also, if we're looking away from the black cat idea that I'm talking about, just in general, cats are a bit, a bit jealous if you give attention to someone else. They're just like that. So the dark typing with this one fits in perfectly, in my opinion, and I do think it's correct, again, based on what Riddler-Coup, the leaker, has said. We move on to the next thing, which is a massive post by Blaze Incineroar, and this is a post that he said, it's a 8 out of 10, the best one I've read so far with some IDs I haven't thought about yet, so let's see what this person has been saying. So, ignore this leak thread is what he says. The Cranston leaker is not real, though they guessed the gimmick partially correctly. Call me Oshawott. Smoliv becomes, Pimienta, which is a waifumon. She has a bunch of half-cut olives as hair and dressed and looks to be the pit greased up in olive oil, which sounds a bit strange. Taurus gets a cross-regional evolution called Bulwark. It's a hunched-over Minotaur with crazed red eyes and black hair all over. It's dark fighting. Pokédex lore states that human interaction with this Pokemon caused it to change its temperament for the worse, which, fair enough, that actually does seem fit pretty well. Lechonk becomes Chonqueen, okay, based on the you can put a lipstick on a pig idiom. It's really effing weird looking and reminded me of Miss Piggy, which that's a bit strange. Kiki Reaper is the final stage of a Day of the Dead-ish rooster regional bird. Masuda hinted at this on Twitter with ghost fighting being. That actually does sound pretty realistic, I'm not gonna lie. The shattered crystals at the end of the trailer are the main gimmick of the games. Refraction of the past and future through the crystals. Similar to Mega Evolution, you get shards of these crystals and can transform into past and future forms. Hisuian Pokemon are not past forms. They're considered tangent evolutions, alright? Koraidon and Miraidon are not part of the main gimmick, gameplay-wise. You get them fairly early on. The lore has them evolve from a baby dragon named Persicapo, which means they would be the same Pokemon. You get Persicapo as a second starter and an event early on involving a Shattered Time Crystal and has them evolve into respective cover versions. They are your PLA ride Pokemon all in one. Koraidon's wheel is vestigial. You ride on his back, but he uses his legs. He swims and climbs as well. He pops off his neck wheel to fly, like Braviary. That's pretty cool, actually. Miraidon has jets and hovers over water and doesn't climb with its limbs. Professors are not evil, but are misguided, and they're both trying to return home to their respective time periods, which is what I've been trying to say for a long time. At least I think that is possibly what's going on, but who knows? Maybe they have nothing to do with being from the past or the future. Either way, funny enough, Dialga and Celebi are mentioned, but the time crystals act on a different strengths than Dialga's time control. The crystals are basically reflections of the past and the future. That actually is a cool concept. While Dialga merely controls time's flow, and Celebi can jump between time periods. Whether a Pokemon has a past form or future form is arbitrarily decided, like Mega Evolution, and it's kind of a samey gimmick. For example, Banette has a past form where it's a stuffed animal before it was cursed. Rotom has a future form where it looks like a puppeteering a C-3PO style robot. Roserade line gets a regional Evo that's grass dark based on red roses and bullfighting. Alright. Pawmi evolves in a similar way to that of the weird few type beta Pokemon, but maintains its electric typing. Okay, there's a dope bug line based on a soldier fly, which, alrighty, well, guys, I'm going to be honest, yes, I would give this one a 7 or 6 out of 10, because a lot of the stuff they mention here does seem very realistic. Like, just the way that they explain the gimmick and how it would work, I think does sound pretty reasonable. However, I do think we are missing something here. He doesn't mention anything about the third typing, the 3 types, which is, again, something that Riddler-Coup has been pinpointing at. That's not explained here. He doesn't give any context for that or mention anything about that, so I don't know, man. Something feels off here. Interestingly enough, though, we have this like right here from Blaze, who says interesting, but Eclipse already said that Towers trials, so it's 0 out of 10. And this person basically said here, 4chan leak, I didn't see anyone talk about. There was some info, but I couldn't fit it all in one screen. I like racing, but I don't know if it's all part of the story. So the person here said, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet challenges, these revolve around racing, and the gimmick plays a big part in these races. You're free to do these in any order as you two need to rack up wins and battles to be able to qualify for Victory Road. Losses can be replaced by your new replacement in the race. This allows for replay value as well as scoreboarding, as you can do in this in multiplayer modes as well. Legendaries are allowed to, in the race, as they give you an advantage and is a talking point in the story. Battles have a new style that resembles features from the other games. Evil team cheats in races, sometimes sabotaging or playing dirty. Gyms at the end of the race are a multiplayer, and beating head of a gym gives you the badge and automatic acceptance in the next race. I'm gonna be honest, I think there will be a racing theme. Might be a racing minigame, side game, similar to how we had like the surfing minigame in Ultra Sun and Moon, as well as the Ultra Wormholes, you know, as a feature. I don't think the main gimmick and the main thingy for, you know, everything is going to be related to racing per se. We'll have to wait and see, though. I could be totally wrong, by the way. I could be very much off the cuff here and not knowing what I'm talking about. But I have a feeling that that's not the case. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much going to be it for this video. I have massive second video coming. Most likely, we'll see what we do about that. But we got massive information, stuff that I want to talk about in a future video. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out, and bye-bye.